Hello, it's Coldy Clare from KSC Legal. I'm going to be talking about the subject of divorce and family law. If you need advice on any area of family law, I only deal with privately funded family law. I don't deal with legally aided public law when it comes to family law, but other areas of privately funded family law I can advise you on. The most common type is obviously divorce. That's the most fundamental area of family law. And it's interesting that I'm doing this video right now, actually, because this is at a time just within days when Parliament has just decided to change the law on divorce. It won't actually be happening for a while yet. In fact, a good sort of well into next year, 2021. But the law on divorce is going to be changing because you may well be aware that there are certain grounds, set grounds, which you need to establish to get a divorce. The law is going to be changing so that it's changed so that you can get a divorce on a no-fault basis. You don't have to prove fault on the part of the other party, and you don't have to wait for a period of 5 years before being separated, as you do at the moment, as an alternative either. So the law is going to be fully appraised and updated to the 21st century. And that has been opposed by a lot of, in my view, backward-minded people, politicians, but that's the way society has evolved over the years, and things are moving in that direction. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. I assist commonly in child arrangements applications or defence of child arrangements applications. I dealt with one just earlier this year, which was very complicated. It involved social services, it involved a guardian being appointed on behalf of a child. I acted for the father in that case, and it was described by the judge as being very complex as well. The other parties were represented by counsel, and it took a while to come to a final decision. Other aspects, prenuptial agreements. They can be used very commonly and they're becoming more and more common now after a case in 2011 which made prenuptial agreements binding, subject to certain conditions which need to be in place to make them binding. Both parties need to be properly legally advised to make them binding, but they can be very useful, particularly where there's inequality of wealth between the parties, or where one party, usually the man, let's face it, in practice, is a business owner or something like that. There are reasons why he needs his business protected in the event that he divorces. There are conditions which you need to comply with if you want to enter into a prenuptial agreement. You need to enter into it a good month or so before your marriage, a minimum of 21 days, but I would advise a good month. As I said, both parties need to be independently advised. One side draws up the agreement and the other side gets independent advice from another solicitor to be advised on whether that's a suitable agreement to enter into. I can do both things, whether you're seeking advice as the recipient of a prenup agreement, or whether you want one drawn up. Obviously, I can't do both for both parties. That goes against the whole point of what independent advice is all about. And on the subject of divorce, again, you may need assistance with regard to financial remedies in divorce. The divorce process may be being made a lot easier, but there are still going to remain issues which have always sometimes gone on for in many cases gone on for a long time in relation to division of financial assets between parties. If that division cannot be agreed in accordance with the criteria which are given in the Matrimonial Causes Act, then the parties need to make an application to court and see if negotiations lead anywhere, and if not, the court finally has to decide how the finances are going to be divided up between the parties. I can assist you with all of that. The process can be very complicated. You need to complete a form and disclose all your assets quite openly. The form is called the Form E. You may have come across that if you're already in the process of divorce and financial division already. And the process can be quite lengthy at the moment. There's a huge backlog in the family court system, particularly as a result of COVID-19. But if you can't agree the position with your ex-partner, then you're going to have to go through the process and get the court to decide how your financial assets are going to be determined. I'll always obviously fight in your best interests for the best deal possible, for the best outcome possible. And hopefully negotiate the best outcome possible. But if not, if we need to take it to court, we'll try and get the best outcome possible in a court hearing. Whichever kind of family law advice you need, I'm always there to help you. Whether you are an ex-wife or ex-female partner, or an ex-male partner, or a civil partnership of the same sex. That's obviously very common now as well, and similar issues apply to civil partnerships, and the similar problems relating to financial division, children obviously as well, and those sorts of issues are just have been coming into the court system over the last few years. And they weren't in existence before. In the early part of my experience as a solicitor, I've been in practice for over 20 years now. So do feel free to give me a call. My number is 074 84 614 090, and you have my email address as well. Thank you very much.